so for the first time in our lives, we were left alone. News came from Washington that Father was improving, and we breathed more easily. Mr. Brooks sent us stiff little bulletins every day, signed,
"Your faithful and obedient servant, John Brooke."
Meg read them aloud over and over again, including the signature. And so, though they were miles apart, this threat to our family seemed to grow and grow, and my heart stood still with fear as I watched her. Then, Meg, Amy, and I were sitting at home early one evening. Beth was out, but Laurie was with us.
Joe, stop gloating over that check.
Oh, how can I help it? $1.50. It'll pay for some medicine for Father.
Of course.
And the next time, they'll give me more.
Now, this is what I would call a snippy nose.
Amy, what on earth are you doing?
Is she at that business again? Amy, I wish you wouldn't.
What is it?
I'm drawing noses.
What?
I don't like my nose.
So she spends time drawing noses she'd like to have if she could choose a different one.
Now, here's an upsy-daisy little nose that I don't like, but some men might.
Amy, really? Talking about men and whether they'll like you.
Horrid, isn't she?
I know you don't like love.
Now,
but
girls, really.
Beth is back.
Why's she knocking?
That's funny. I'll open it. Well, come in. What's the matter?
Stand back. Don't come near me.
What is
Beth.
it?
You stand back and I'll come in.
All right.
What is it, Bessie?
Mercy, Beth, tell us.
I went to the Hummels again. Family mother was looking after the baby has been sick. Tonight I held her while Mrs. Hummel went for the doctor. She died in my arms.
Oh.
You poor girl.
Oh, Amy hasn't had scarlet fever. She must stand back.
Heavens.
Have you had it, Laurie?
Yes, I have.
So have I.
Beth, you've been over there 3 times this week, haven't you?
Yes, I have a fever. Doctor told me to come home at once.
Bethy, darling, sit down. Your head is like an oven. I'm afraid... Amy, you've got to leave now. Go to Aunt March.
I don't want to.
You must. You've got to.
But I don't want to
Amy,
leave.
please be...
Come, Joe, we've got to get Beth to bed.
Yes, come on, Bethy, to your room.
I'm all right.
Come, dear, we'll help you.
That's it. We'll get you into bed, dear. We'll get you into
They're
bed.
right, Amy. You've got to leave.
Can't I help?
Not here, you can't. Why, if you get it too, it'd be a catastrophe. This is a bad thing.
Still, I wish
Now, Amy, look, you can help most by going. Look, I'll follow the example of the worthy Mr. Brooke. I'll put myself in charge of bulletins, and every day I'll drop in on you and let you know how things are.
Will you, Laurie?
Why, of course. And I'll do even more. I'll bring you surprises.
Oh.
I'll bring you a flower from our garden every day. And I'll bring you pictures of handsome men and women with interesting noses.
Do you promise, Laurie?
Of course.
Well, I'll go then.
Good girl.
Laurie.
Yes, Joe?
Laurie. Could you go for our doctor, Dr. Bangs?
Of course, at once. Look, Amy's going to be sensible and go to your aunt's.
I'm glad, Amy.
I'll go right
now. Wait
now.
a minute. Before you go, one thing. We mustn't write a word to Mommy. If we did, she'd come at once and leave Father. That would be dreadful.
I'm afraid she would.
So not a word. Oh, I could lash myself. If I hadn't been so intent on my stories, I'd have been going to the Hummels instead of Beth. Each time, all 3 of us left it to her.
Joe, don't blame yourself.
We'll make it up if we can.
Joe, if there's anything I can do, please understand. All I want is to help you. In every possible way.
Oh, thanks, Laurie. The crisis came a week later. Beth was very sick, and one day as she lay on her bed mumbling incoherently, we finally sent a wire to Mommy. We waited anxiously for her to come. That night, none of us slept. Mr. Lawrence paced in the living room downstairs. Laurie lay on the hearthrug. Meg and I stayed in the room with Beth, sleeping in turns at the foot of her bed. The hours went by.
What's she doing? With her hands, look.
She's playing the piano on the bed covers.
Can you tell the tune?
It's what she always played. Sing it to her, Meg. She's smiling, Meg. Oh, Meg, don't.
I'm so wicked, Joe.
No, you're not, Meg.
I am. That day Beth went to the Hummels when I wouldn't go. It was because I wanted to sit home and read Mr. Brooks' letters over and over. It was wicked of me.
Meg.
I've only talked to him 3 or 4 times. Mother said that my heart rules my head. She was right. Oh, Joe, if Beth gets better, I'll never let myself have such thoughts again.
Don't say that, Meg.
God, help Beth get better. There's nothing I won't do. Amen.
Meg, she's breathing more easily.
Oh.
Her forehead is cooler. She's sleeping naturally. The change has come, Meg.
Oh.
There's the carriage.
It's stopping at our door.
That's Mommy, and there's Father, too. They've come.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, Meg, they've come in time.
Get ready, Betty. Here comes Father now.
Oh, Daddy comes marching home again, hooray, hooray. Daddy comes marching home again, hooray, hooray. The girls will sing and the boys will shout and the ladies, they will all turn out. You'll all feel gay when Daddy comes marching home.
To think I've heard my four girls singing together again. How good that sounded with my little Beth at the piano again. Are you all right, Beth?
Oh, yes, Father.
But now, Father and Bethy are going back to bed. Come, Beth.
Yes, Mommy. It was so good to get up and all be together again.
The most joyful reunion party that ever happened.
Now you must rest, both of you.
We'll go with you, Beth. Thanks, Meg. Amy.
Come, dear.
Coming.
Joe, why so solemn-faced about a celebration?
It's wonderful they're both getting well.
Well, then why the gloomy countenance?
This house is full of suspense and foreboding. There's an unfinished matter to be settled. It hangs over us like a sword.
You mean Brooke and Meg?
Yes. Mommy came back calling Mr. Brooke John.
Really?
Down in Washington, he spoke to her and Father, wondered if he might, at the proper time, address his attentions to Miss Margaret. They said yes.
Wonderful. Well, have you finally reconciled yourself to the idea?
Of course I haven't. I hate it.
Why, Joe, do you want me to make you a wager? I'll wager you'll be next, Joe.
Please, Laurie, don't say that. Don't you see what's happening? Our whole family is going to smash.
Don't be so melodramatic about it, Joe. I guess I'd better let you get over your gloom, so I'll clear out. What? Joe, look there in the hall. Old Brooke left his umbrella in your umbrella stand, the sly dog. I'm sure it's an excuse to come back at the proper moment.
Miss Margaret.
Oh, Mr. Brooke.
Forgive the intrusion. I hope it's not untimely. I came to inquire about your father. That is, I came for my umbrella. That is,
He's in the umbrella stand. I mean, it's doing very nicely, thank you.
Oh, Miss March. It's so good to see you laughing and happiness returning to this home.
We owe much of it to you, sir.
Oh, does that mean that I might share in this joy?
One surely deserves the happiness one brings to others.
Margaret,
Mr. Brooke.
Are you afraid of me, Margaret?
How can I be afraid of one who's been so good to Father?
Margaret, do you suppose, is it possible? Can it be? Oh, Margaret, I love you. I love you.
Now, look, Joe, I've been trying to talk to you.
I know you have,
You
Laurie.
keep running away from me.
I know I do.
Now, sit still for a moment, Joe. We've got to have this out.
No, let's not, Laurie. We're such good friends. Don't you see?
I don't see. That's just what I mean. Oh, look, Joe. After a little more schooling, Grandfather's going to put me to work in one of his offices and...
Laurie, please don't go on.
But this is what I've been trying to say.
I wish you wouldn't.
Joe, for months I've been in and out of this house. Do you think I had any reason for coming except to see you? I love you, Joe. Won't you marry me?
That's what I was afraid of.
Why?
Oh, Laurie, I didn't want it to come to this.
I so much wanted that you shouldn't get hurt. You've meant so much to me that...
But that's what I mean, Joe. What we mean to each other.
Laurie, I don't love you.